Hello and happy Motivational Monday to my Pisces. Pisces, in your previous reading, and this again, Motivational Monday readings are an extension of Sunday's videos, okay? Just so I want to make sure everybody is aware of that. So the moon is moving from Scorpio into Sagittarius. So Scorpio can cause you to have this emotional roller coaster. Should I jump off the ride here? Or, when the ride stops, when it moves through these phases, or should I sit in this emotion? Should I say fixated on an emotion that something has ended and I needed to move on? Something unhealthy and wounded has ended, and it's hard for me to kind of get out of this emotional rut. Source is saying that when the moon moves into Sagittarius, that's actually going to be beneficial for you because you and Sagittarius share the ruling planet Jupiter, right? And you desire bliss. And I'm talking to you, by the way, if you have Pisces anywhere in your birth chart, including your MC or IC. So that's when somebody's going to feel lucky that, okay, I'm glad that passed, so let me shake this off, right? But in the meantime, the things that you can do as a water sign is get out there near water, or listen to water sounds in the house. If you don't live anywhere near water, get out and say, okay, I need to start listening to more water sounds at night. That's going to really help somebody's dreams become downloaded, and it's going to assure you that you are headed in the right direction and stay away from ruthless and treacherous types of energies who may be connected to other ruthless people who are in survival mode. So listening to water sounds during this time is going to really help you to let you know that you made the best decision. So here we have the Page of Pentacles. Here we have the Seven of Pentacles. We have the Temperance card. Somebody definitely has a guardian angel watching over you, helping you, through all of this. We also have the Six of Pentacles. We also have the Nine of Pentacles. And then we also have the Five of Pentacles, right? So it looks like I said before, it looks like the emotional wounding of something, like somebody wanting to build legacy with someone, right? When we talk about going from Five of Pentacles to Ten of Pentacles, Source is saying for you, Pisces, you need to stay away from energies who talk negatively, talk trash about people, or let's keep them ostracized, and people who sit there and absorb trash talking energies about people. Because you're the I believe sign, you don't have to necessarily hear it. You don't have to hear it directly being talked about you. All you need to do is pay attention to what people are saying to believe that they have it in them. You can go with that, Pisces, because you're the last sign in the Zodiac. You're a very wise sign, and you're a very compassionate sign, right? Because there's many layers to trash talking energies and people who sit there and entertain trash talking about people. It's really rooted in fear, and you're operating in faith. Your spirit is of faith and not of operating in fear. So Source is saying new information, incoming information about how you spend your time or how you circulate your wealth of time, how you invest your time is coming through. So Source is saying to you, here we have the Page, the Seven of Pentacles, the Six of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles, is you have a lot of information coming into you about, legacy, and just how important it is to be very deliberate and intentional about what type of legacy you want to build and with whom you want to build that legacy. There's some people you can tell one time that, hey, I'm very private. I don't want people to know, that I have money, that I don't want people to know certain things. And they'll say, got it, first time. Okay, at first they may not be aware. They may be innocently saying, "Oh, I didn't realize, you're very private." Then there's some people who want to see how you operate, so they'll test you. They'll say, "Okay, they private. Okay, I'm gonna start telling people, oh, look out for this one and that one. They got money, they got this and that." Source is saying to you, those are the types of energies you need to stay away from, because that messy recklessness is exactly what they're still attached to. Here we have the Six of Pentacles. You're not looking for their approval. Source has already approved you to move into it's harvest time for you. So that's kind of, like I said, somebody's guardian angel is watching out for you, because somebody definitely has legacy wealth on their mind. Somebody is ready to build, in your community, in the world at large. So when you tell certain energies things, you'll know just how they talk about other people, Pisces. If you were to detach from them, exactly what they'll say about you. They'll fill in blanks when people don't know certain things. They just start telling something. It may come across as they're excited, But that's why you sit back and say, okay, before I announce anything, let me just see how they communicate with other people. So it can come across as excitement at first, but for you, that may be, again, when they get disappointed, how is the disappointment going to come out, right? How do they respond to disappointment when you say, yeah, this doesn't work for me, and you decide to move on? Here we have the Wheel of Fortune, which is you and Sagittarius' ruling planet. Like I said, somebody's going to feel really lucky. Like I said, you being in your light has exposed something in such detail and such meticulousness about people, but more so about yourself. Like, you don't want to be connected to other people's drama. You don't want to spend time, sowing seeds into other people's drama. You can already see it ahead of time. And again, how they react to your your purpose, actually exposing that. Again, like I said, source is actually rewarding you for moving on. So anything, any darkness in their spirit of continuing to gossip and stuff, they're just throwing themselves back into a cycle of just chaos and confusion, which you've learned early on to remove yourself from. You have got 2 guardian angels that's watching over you. You have 2 guardian angels that's watching over you. I do see somebody settling down and getting married in business or in love. So if you don't desire marriage and love, that's okay, because marriage is not just about romantic, it's also in business. So if somebody's been saying, I want to build my legacy, I see some kind of partnership with a major brand trying to come through for somebody. And just like any other marriage, there needs to be open line of communication. People shouldn't have to prod to get information. Source is saying to you, sit on your throne, carefully vet your thoughts. This is the Queen of Swords, and really decide on how you're vetting energies that want access to you, because your time is money. So if you're doing a big business deal and people are like, I want to align myself with you, like the energy of money is attracted to you. You've been sowing seeds through prayer and meditation, and I see those things coming to fruition. And I feel like that I want to invest in. I think we would have a great collaboration together. I want to invest in you. Sources says, sit on your throne and carefully vet your thoughts. Ask as many questions as you need to, just like you're interviewing them. Now, I'm so happy that somebody chose me in love or chose me in business, that whatever they toss in my face, I'm just going to just take it, right? So, yeah, so that's what Source wants to prepare. I feel like somebody's going to have an opportunity is coming across your path. And again, the same thing. If you're saying, there's a lot of big businesses, Pisces, where you don't know who sits on the board. Yeah, you have people they're all making money. You don't know who's sitting on the board. So there's definitely ways where you can protect your energy, where people want to invest in with you in terms of business, invest in your brand, and everybody is just kind of quiet investors, right? And so and that's what Source is trying to do for you. Here we have La Luna, right? Here we have the God card, the Wisdom card, the 4 of Pentacles, the 6 of Pentacles, and also the Sun card. Now, this is interesting. It looks like in the past, somebody has definitely, the Sun card came out twice, which is further reiterating there's 2 types of energies in the past that have a God complex. It's basically their way or your way. Now, what's interesting about this, Pisces, is that you may have connected with someone either recently or some part you've connected, but the energy are connected to energies that have a God complex. In other words, they want people to bow down to them. It's their way or the highway, right? They are committed to having a certain belief system about you, which is not the most positive belief system. So Source is saying to you, they are very impulsive. They jump to conclusions about people, and let's say, for instance, because you need time to process. That's all my divine feminine signs, that's earth signs and water signs, need time to process things. And in your case, it's processing your emotions. And they're the type of energies that will come across to say that you're lazy, that you're afraid. In other words, they will be projecting themselves onto you and then spreading that out like wildfire. Source is saying the sooner you get delivered from people's opinions of you up front, when you get delivered from people's opinions of you, because I said before, you have 2 guardian angels that's watching over you, that's basically really watching your back, like and helping you to not return back to overwhelming emotions that people may have had about you, in the past, so that you're not looking for their approval. Here we have the 6 of Pentacles. So it's the same, because Source has already approved you to open up your vault door. has already approved you to move forward towards somebody that I see you getting married to in business and or in love, right? So you and your person moving forward is not a karmic tie where their energy, and a lot of people don't know the difference between karmic ties, twin flames, soulmates. You'll know that something you're leaving behind is a karmic tie because it constantly triggers memories from the past, whether they realize it or not. Like I said, somebody has come out of a very argumentative situation where it was just constant game playing and mind tricks and this kind of stuff, and you're not interested in that. That's draining and counterproductive. So you need clarity of thought moving forward, and that's why Source is saying, now that you've come out of all this overwhelming mind games and mind playing and going into escapism, whether it was drinking or taking medication and obviously I don't have anything against if something was prescribed. I don't joke around with mental health at all on my channel. But when energies think that's funny, those are the energies you need to get away from. Some people see that as a game. They like to say, "Oh, I haven't taken medication in such and such years," but they're still connected to the energies that cause that type of pain, right? And so Source is saying to you to stay away from those types of energy. They constantly complaining, "Oh, they driving me to drink," and they're saying this while they're drinking, it was still somehow connected to the energy that's driving them there, right? And so of course there's obviously special cases, maybe there's kids involved or whatever, but hey, if you got to drive somebody to drinking or picking back up bad eating habits because you're worried about what they're thinking and what they're saying, Source is saying it's best to go ahead and do yourself a favor and cut them off. Your wisdom has been heightened. So yeah, Source knows exactly what somebody's heart is desiring in terms of legacy wealth and thinking about how to protect that legacy. Here we also have the Four of Pentacles. So you don't even have to give it a whole lot of time when you're thinking about those energies that you want to, when you're saying you want to build legacy with some energies. Here we have the 4 and 6, of the type of legacy you want to build is where you're not trying to look for other people's approval. You're not trying to tell them, you're not trying to wait to see if they get their nod of approval. It's more or less like, I have just as much to add to their lives, this union, whether it's in business and or in love, as they have to add to mine. So I'm compassionate towards them, but my expectation is that they are equally as compassionate. Down to your birthday, Pisces. Seriously, down to your birthday. A person, you may say to somebody, Pisces, that you don't celebrate your birthday, right? Does that take away from a person reading into maybe they don't celebrate because people didn't celebrate for them? So I'll make sure I celebrate, Pisces. Or like you got to listen to, like I said, where's the Hermit card? You got to listen and fine tune with stuff. You got to pay deep, close attention to things, because there are some energies that don't even realize that they want everything to revolve around them. They want you to continue being pouring water into them, helping them to grow, but you're not getting a whole lot of growth in return. So, so that's what I'm seeing for you all so far, Pisces. I definitely see somebody is really tweaking their expectations of who you want to build with, as you're opening up your vault door, and who you want to align yourself with as you're opening up your vault door, and who you don't want to align with. Here we have the Magician card. So clear messages are coming through to you that something would have been a demonic tie. Something definitely would have been a demonic tie in business and or in love, right? I feel like somebody could be in a... remember, the Death card came out again, so further lets me know, again, you have a guardian angel that's watching over you, just helping you to see things from a broader perspective, especially when you feel like, wow, I wish we could have built together. I wish I could, especially when you're second guessing, like somebody could have been right there at the table about to sign something with somebody, but something was Source, and something was, I'm going to slow this down for just a second because it's some other stuff that's coming through for me, Pisces. But Source is the one that's using someone's guardian angels to show you some things through your dreams that absolutely wouldn't have worked. Like when you think about soil and like planting seeds, right? Let me see if I can give somebody a picture, right? So you see all of this greenery right here, Source, your ancestors were actually showing you some dreams or downloading some things that it wouldn't have been green as you thought. It's like the grass is greener on the other side. Like, I want to be connected to, this. I want to be connected to what they're connected to, until source is like, hold on, let me show you what they had to do to be connected to those things. And you don't have to do those things to be connected, Pisces. That's the difference. And so you see how this person's standing here? You've learned how to, you've already, people are banking on the fact that you feeling like, okay, I don't want to be left out in the cold. I need to be connected to certain things. I need to be a part of certain things. So it's just like, no, you don't. I'm leaving them out in the cold so I'm leaving them on the other side. So they'll do things like I think I said in your previous reading, Pisces, like energy's watching you. People are listening intently to see what you're going to say, picking up, because again, they're in survival mode, just like hunting, just pacing back and forth, hunting, listening to things. And if they're not listening, they got other people listening in predatory mode, because again, you decided you don't want to be a part of whatever situation people may have thought that you wanted to be a part of. It would be equivalent like to somebody saying, spreading the rumor about you, like some energies from your past spread some rumors about you that you just want to be a part of. Like, they believe their belief system. They believe that you want to be a part of some things, and you always on the outside of things, and you just want to be a part of something, right? And source is saying you don't have to look for their approval, because source already picked you. So you don't have to be as a slang term people use, a pick me. You don't have to be a person who is looking for humans to pick you, because source already picked and hand picked the energies that's coming your way. Here we have the World card and also the Devil card. So source is saying you're closing out any fear, doubt, uncertainty as to how that's going to come across, and people jumping to conclusions about you because people jump to conclusions about them. They still won't get it though. As you're entering into your vault door and things are happening for you and life is happening for you. And I'm not talking about like fast, and things are happening because you have all these great ideas. It's like your ideas are taking off like lightning, and your money is starting to grow, and source is bringing all these additional ideas around you. Guess what? Looking at this right here, I see somebody looking back and saying, I'm so glad that I moved on from all the game playing. This is, again, somebody's going to say, I'm glad that I didn't sign that deal. I'm glad I didn't take that job. I'm glad I didn't date that person. I'm glad I did not really settle down and build a legacy with that energy. Somebody's saying today, right now, when the time of filming, the moon is in Scorpio, somebody may be going through an emotional roller coaster this week, but then eventually, as it moves into Sagittarius, and then after it moves from Sagittarius, it's going to move into Capricorn, and somebody's going to say, you know what, I had to enforce a boundary, and for me, I know it works for me and what doesn't work for me. And guess what? Here's the Magician card. Magician card, source is telling you, you in the highest frequency, you see that everybody has value, and that's where your compassion comes from, Pisces. So you don't have any. I can't reiterate this because we don't have any control over how other people process the final ending of things. Just like we don't have control over how people process the literal death, like a physical body being laid to rest. We don't know how people are, what they are attached to in their past and how they process the end of something. So here we have, but your shamanic wisdom has been increased, right? Your wisdom about some things have increased. And yeah, and so like I said before, there's definitely something that kind of triggered somebody to move on from something. And I can assure you that whoever you move on from has no clue what could have triggered you to move on from something. But again, you're not looking for, here we have delusion. Intention without surrender can be a fast path to delusion. You're not delusional. You're not going crazy. Something from your past, and that's what somebody know that would have been a karmic situation. That working situation would have been a karmic situation, and the and I'm gonna backtrack for just a second. A romantic situation would have been a karmic situation, like in your personal and professional life. A friendship would have been a karmic situation. Let me help somebody understand karma, right? So karma is not good or bad. It just is, Pisces. And so when you look back, when you really sit down to process something that you walked away from, there was a still small voice that says, that's not it for you. You may have stayed in something, and source may have kept trying to tell you, I'm giving you every sign under the sun. Pay attention, journal, pay attention, go back and read what you wrote, right? And eventually somebody says, okay, I need to move on from this, right? And when you moved on and you went back and look at your journal entries, you said, oh my God, there was signs all over like I was being slapped upside my head with all kinds of signs that this was a trigger, this was a trigger, this was a trigger, and this was a trigger. And had you gone into it, that would have been a karmic. That karma is in the sense that some people use karma in a negative sense, it would have been a direct disobedience to source. It would have taken you away from your purpose. Here we have the sun card right here. It would have taken you away from your purpose. And so obedience, is better than sacrifice. But because you were obedient and closed out, where's the world card? Because you closed out a cycle, because you had already been through something before, it actually had a positive effect on another energy or other energies that they may not even be aware of right now because of your obedience. It actually almost like it forced them to start focusing, asking the question, why? Why did this happen? What was the purpose of all of this happening? How am I supposed to use this to better my life and better other people's lives? So when I saw in your previous reading the number 0, you actually add value to people's lives without you really knowing what you're doing at first, and other people may not even see it either. But you're adding value to people's lives, and source is rewarding you for, like I said before, rewarding you for being obedient. That's a big, hard pill to swallow when you feel like, okay, gosh, but I was right there about to sign the paperwork and source told me to get up and move on from it. Or, gosh, right there when or like think about some things that you've been through in the past, like some contracts you may have signed and you said, nah, I could have gotten better if I hadn't just been in such a haste. Like people sign deals for their, to buy new cars, and they go drive right down the road and see a bigger discount, but now you're locked in for a loan. Or somebody, some people get married and they realize on the wedding night, oh my gosh, I should have waited. What in the world was, flesh, right? Our demons, right? Our flesh would be our demons. And so somebody may say, gosh, I was drinking or I was on medication. I didn't know what was going on. I was totally incoherent. I had no idea. But guess what? Unfortunately, people will use that against you, from your past will use it against you, Pisces. So source is saying to you, you're totally coherent. You're fully focused moving forward. And somebody's going to feel like they hit the jackpot. Because you're at a higher frequency and somebody is saying, I'm waiting for source to give me a blaring green light in my face to tell me that, hey, I'm making the right moves, you're at a higher frequency. And there are energies that think that see this judgment card, that think that you're harshly judging them. Nope, you're not harshly judging anybody. You're saying, hey, been there, done that before. And like I said before, you have a guardian angel that's watching over you that lets you know, gave you the foresight. Had you signed that deal, had you gone into that relationship, relationship could be friendship, romantic, whatever, business relationship, had you gone into that, you would have created your own nightmare because you were operating in the flesh, right? Something that feels good, something that you believe, I believe so strongly in this, and source is giving you every sign of the sun that would have been a demonic tie. And so now somebody is waking up saying, yeah, that would have been a demonic tie for them too. And it also inspired them to move on from something in their past. So like I said before, you added value to people's lives. That whether they ever give you credit for Pisces or not, you fulfilled your assignment and you moved on. So that's why source is rewarding somebody. So congratulations to you. Here we also have the Emperor card, came out twice. And two situations, like I said before, people were like, it's my way or the highway. I feel like you came in contact with something that would have been a karmic tie, but it actually, you were obedient to your purpose, and it ignited a flame in somebody to be obedient to theirs. Here we also have the Chariot card. So like I said before, the thing that you've been praying for, somebody has definitely, I saw the Chariot card somewhere else. The very thing, so that leaves them to move on to get married to whoever they get married to, and it also leaves you to get married to whoever you're getting married to in business and in a romantic sense. So it's a win-win for everybody. sources had to use you as a person who prays for people and inspires and ignites a flame in people and motivates people. That was an assignment for somebody. So here we have the Queen of Wands. Somebody's feeling happier, more charismatic and free. But if you're thinking about it from the human emotional standpoint, somebody could still be like, gosh, I invested so much time and how come I did, what happened? Source is saying, but instead you feeling like you hit the jackpot. So hopefully that made it make sense to somebody who may be going through some kind of emotional, roller coaster about some things. And I'm not sure if I made the right decision. You made the best decision. You were obedient, operating in your light to just move on. So yeah, there's nothing for you to be, frustrated over. You're highly magnetic. So everything want to attach itself to you, even energies that's attached to other energies that you're like, nah. But to even tell people, hey, like some people have said it in business, it's like, yeah, I would do business with you, but you're still in bed with, they'll say, basically saying in business, you're still in bed with such and such ABC company. And they may be like, well, hold on, that has nothing to do with this bearings. Like, yeah, it does. I'm going to give you, like, there's here we have magnetic. One time I saw on Pisces, this guy giving an interview, this multi-billionaire giving an interview on YouTube. And some of you all may have seen the video. And he was saying that he was about to go into a business deal with a guy that would have made him even more money. But until he found out that the guy was cheating on his spouse, right? And he immediately made an executive decision that if that person was cheat on the person that they're lying next to every single, lying next to, made a vow to in marriage, like in a love situation, why would he want to go into a business marriage with this energy that had that type of a spirit? That may sound judgmental to some people, but you have to know what works for you and what doesn't work for you, because that's very contaminating energy. Like, okay, well, that would be a person who feels comfortable with saying, oh, I just skimmed a little bit off the top, millions of dollars off the top because I needed to take care of this. Well, it's our money, is that mindset. So source is saying to you, you made the best decision for you. Whatever you left behind will find some energies on whatever frequency that they're on. Just like source is saying, at a higher frequency, sometimes that air is thin. And source is saying you raised your if you weren't on a high frequency, you wouldn't have seen it. That's why I said your wisdom is growing. I am wise. So if there were any energies that were trying to set traps or whatever for you, sources like, listen, you got too many guardian angels watching over you, seeing that you're trying to break cycles, chains, and curses. And some of you all are doing it by yourself with no help from your family at all. So you have a new attitude. That's it. Somebody's in a good headspace. You have a new attitude. This card is not by coincidence that I saw this, but your new home awaits also. So not sure who that's for. You're just moving differently as you're healing and starting to see what types of energies you want to align yourself with. So you have no control over what people that you left behind in the past are saying about you and how their karma comes back and swings back around for them. Karma is not good or bad. You could tell a person all day long, be careful of what you're saying about people, but you can't, we don't have control over other human beings. And heal people just move differently. People who are committed to healing are like, I'd rather keep it to myself than go tell everybody that I'm healed, because now I got to go back, because those are impulsive energies. Those are the same energies that were excited about you at first. Now you got to go back and explain why they don't talk about you anymore in business, and why they don't talk, because they were impulsive, like putting a cart before the horse. And so it's just like, you got to sit on stuff until the deal is done, until 100% certain, okay, now it's time to make some kind of an announcement. And some people are still in this hasty way of moving. So yeah, so now they got to go and explain to whomever, oh, I found this out, I found that out, I got it, like filling in the blanks. That's the karma they're bringing on themselves. But for you, you're out like this, feeling like you jumped out of a treasure chest. So yeah, bliss, there it is. And that's exactly what your ruling planet is all about, bliss. Imagination and transcendence, but it's also connected to bliss and escapism. So you're like, I'm not escaping a reality. I believe something, source made it crystal clear, and now I'm moving forward. So here we have, I liberate my highest self. Where's that card? You're liberated. Somebody feels liberated. You're not judging anybody. Like I said, you're breaking cycles, chains, and curses. Matter of fact, your ancestors on the other side are so proud of you, Pisces. It's really not even funny, because what you're doing is really changing a whole lot of family stuff. We're talking about Pentacles energy is connecting us to the root chakra, which is developed between the ages of 0 and 7. So it's like when I tell you that somebody is definitely going through a major rebirth right now, that's an understatement. And so being connected to energies that drag you back into something, it's like a person's like, you are between ages of 0 and 7 in your spirit. Like, I'm excited about, this rebirth, but then something would add more years onto that. So you've already broken karmic cycles, and the test was, okay, I'm gonna see if you're ready to move beyond that. Like, you've had some time to be alone by yourself, Pisces, to kind of process all the things that you've gone through, and let me see if you're ready to move on from this. Right? Had you connected with certain energies, it would have taken you back to the sacral chakra that's developed between the ages of 8 and 14 years old. So if that makes it, let me add some context to that for somebody. It would have doubled your time to get into your vault door. Could you imagine being connected to some energy and being so triggered by the things that you've already healed from, and being pulled back into things you've already healed from? It's going to take you another 7 years in order to step through your own vault door. It's not worth it. You put too much. You're moving differently as a healed person. So affirmations for bliss. I liberate my highest self. My life is full of wonderful surprises. I am free to be me. I express my individuality. I'm grateful for my unique qualities. I see the beauty in the highs and lows of life. I am connected to the all that is. I am grateful for silver linings. Yeah. That's what I have for you, Pisces. Again, happy Motivational Monday. Like I said, you all are absolutely heading in the right direction. Those of you who are tuned in. If you're tuned in, it's because you're meant to tune in. It's not even by coincidence. Even if you're a cross watcher, initially thinking you're coming to watch for somebody else, I guarantee you, if you have Pisces in your birth chart, this is applying to what you're going through right now. Somebody's like, I was on the fence about some things. Should I go back to allow myself to be overwhelmed, or should I continue moving forward, right? So as I said, moving forward is better because you put in all this work. Look at this and this, right? You're saying, I'm now operating in the flesh. I'm operating from spirit. I'm taking my instruction from spirit. I'm at a higher frequency. To operate in the flesh would be going into overwhelming in emotions. I'm so drowned out in emotions, for something like your water would be your sensuality, sexuality, your creativity, your adaptability, your healthy range of emotions. I'm so sexually attracted to this energy. Or if it's not sexual attraction, this energy makes me laugh so hard that I can't even make a clear decision. I'm distracted by something having to do with my sacral chakra. At a higher frequency, source says you've already purged all of that. So to go back down to something that will cause emotional eating, drinking, drug use, any kind of sexual addiction, would be going backwards instead of moving forward at a higher frequency, if that makes sense to somebody. And again, your angels are helping you with that. So that's what I have for you, Pisces. Thank you for joining me. Hopefully this has been extremely helpful for somebody. Drop your comments below. This is a general reading. Your 6-month prediction is already up on Patreon for those of you all who are already over there. I didn't want to inundate anybody over here on this side by putting up the regular videos and the 6-month videos. I hear you all loud and clear. And a lot of people were saying it was, a lot of extra videos was inundating people. Like, okay, I just watched one and didn't get a chance to, process that one before another video popped up, right? And I'm just being led by Spirit. So Spirit is saying, hey, put another video for this sign or that sign. That's what I'm doing. So, but again, so your 6-month prediction video is up on Patreon. This is, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe here. And then also have a second channel for those of you all who want to know about birth charts, what feels like when your planet is retrograde, or when planets in general are retrograde and when they're stationed direct. All of that numbers are on the second channel. So go check it out. It's free. So that's what I have for you all. And it's called the Knowledge Channel. The link is below in the description. But that's what I have for you all, Pisces. I will see you all on Midweek Wednesday. Bye.